Here's a story of resilience and triumph. The strength of Lila. Lila grew up in a small, weather-worn house on the outskirts of town. On the outside, her life appeared ordinary, but inside, the walls carried secrets that she bore alone. From a young age, Lila endured the weight of her father's rage and her mother's indifference, leaving scars on her body and heart that no one could see. As a child, Lila sought solace in small, hidden places: the closet with her stuffed animals, the quiet corner of the school library, and the woods behind her house. But no matter how far she ran, the pain seemed to follow. She felt like a shadow of herself, unworthy of love, invisible to the world, and consumed by shame. By the time she turned 16, Lila had learned to put up walls. She smiled when she had to, excelled in school to distract herself, and avoided deep connections with others. But the nights were still hard. Anxiety and nightmares plagued her, and she would often lie awake, wondering if she'd ever escape the grip of her past. Everything began to shift when she met Miss Howard, her high school art teacher. Miss Howard was gentle but persistent, encouraging Lila to express herself through painting. At first, Lila resisted, terrified of what might come out if she let herself feel. But one rainy afternoon, when she stayed late in the art room, she picked up a brush and began to paint. The canvas became a mirror of her pain: jagged lines, dark colors, and shapes that reflected the chaos inside her. But as she painted, something unexpected happened. She felt lighter, as if the emotions trapped within her were finally being set free. Miss Howard noticed her talent and encouraged her to enter a local art competition. For the first time, Lila felt seen, not as a victim, but as someone with a voice worth hearing, healing, and growth. After graduating, Lila moved to a nearby city for college. There, she began therapy for the first time. It wasn't easy. Talking about her childhood felt like reopening wounds that had barely scabbed over. But her therapist, a kind woman named Dr. Morales, taught her that healing wasn't about erasing the past. It was about learning to live alongside it. Through therapy, journaling, and her art, Lila began to understand that the abuse she endured wasn't her fault. She started setting boundaries with her family, cutting off contact with her father, and confronting the guilt and fear that had kept her silent for so long. Lila also found a community of friends who supported her unconditionally. They celebrated her small victories, like attending social events without panic, and cheered her on as she built a life she could be proud of, a life reclaimed. By the time she reached her late 20s, Lila had turned her pain into purpose. She became an art therapist, working with children who had experienced trauma. Through her own journey, she learned how to hold space for others, offering them the same compassion she once received. One day, as she stood in front of a group of young artists, Lila shared her story, not to dwell on the past, but to show them what was possible. "Your past doesn't define you," she told them, her voice steady. "It's part of your story, but it doesn't have to be the ending." Though Lila would always carry the echoes of her childhood, she no longer lived in its shadow. She had built a life filled with meaning, love, and hope, a testament to her resilience and the power of healing. This story illustrates how trauma can shape someone, but doesn't have to define them. With support, courage, and time, Lila shows us that it's possible to overcome even the darkest chapters of life.